Welcome back to She Can, where role models inspire by telling their insights and lived experiences to guide others. And I'm very happy to interview Zoë Kelsey today. Zoë, welcome to She Can. You are a health coach and founder of We Shine Well, the first community membership and dot connecting concierge for established female entrepreneurs in the wellness space. Let's shine brighter together is your motto, which I love. It could be our motto as well at She Can. You help women to sustainably grow their impact-driven wellness brands, and your community marketing strategies can help wellness brands build engaged communities, increase awareness, and foster authentic growth. So, Zoe, tell us a bit more about yourself and those pivotal points that got you to where you are today.
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here. And before this, just hear a little bit more about your story too. And we all have a journey. So I founded We Shine Well about 2 years ago, kind of as that community membership and dot connecting concierge that you mentioned, as a way to support these incredible women. In essence, how do we shine brighter by learning from peers there with us that have gone before us, as well as well-vetted experts. But the journey behind We Shine Well is a lifelong journey, and it kind of starts when, like, growing up, I had my own kind of health journey. And that's when I had like head trauma and anorexia, and then just like had recovered, shifted my mindset of like, how can I support myself and others? And that's when I became a certified health coach. And then from there, I decided that I wanted to make a bigger impact beyond being a health coach. So then I went from being a client to working with Kelly LeVeque, who's a celebrity nutritionist, to help be a course consultant, and help write and launch her memberships and her courses that she currently has. And then from there went on to become a business coach, specifically again for female entrepreneurs in wellness. So between that and just hearing just the sense and need for community and so many coulds and shoulds in parallel with working in corporate for the past 10 years, leading subset of influencer marketing, global community strategy for top customers, and just discovering the power of community. That's kind of how We Shine Well kind of came to be. And the through line, know we were talking about through lines before this as well. But the through line through all of that is like growing up, I just felt this sense of being contained in a way, and not really knowing who I was. And so my passion for building community stems from my own journey of going from feeling that feeling of contained to feeling ignited to feeling expanded. And growing up, I felt contained. I never really felt like I fit in or I truly belonged until I realized that belonging first starts within myself. And then when I started to tune into those inner whispers of who I'm meant to be and taking that one next step at a time, I started to feel that like shining a bit brighter, to feel that ignited, to be attracting those people and opportunities into my life. And then, as we talked about before, like just kind of like there's always that ego, and where is that like intuition, and just following those breadcrumbs and those nudges of like, what is my God-given purpose to live out? What are my gifts? And how can I show up in the world and support others through that, from that place of like being ignited and expanded and supporting others to do that? So that's kind of what We Shine Well is all about, is how can we come together in community, and just help everyone in our community first find that belonging and like reconnecting with who are they, who is their true essence, to then be able to fully show up. Because I believe when we feel the sense of belonging and love for ourselves, then we are truly able to show up to attract the community that we are meant to surround ourselves with. And community is just instrumental to growth because even think about it. Like we can't live in silos. You have a seed. If it's just dry and in a sterile environment, like nothing's gonna happen. It's your environment that shapes you. You put that seed and in soil, you nourish it, like you get a vibrant flower that shines, and that's because the environment, the community that it's in, and within we shine well. We to foster that community, we have a private community portal to connect, collaborate. We have monthly calls with members and well-vetted experts to share their gems of messages. We have quarterly in-person meetups and our annual summit that is in May. But one of my favorite parts is connecting one-on-one with every single member in our community to better get to know them, their journey, what lights them up, and their challenges, to then know time is of the essence and connect them with the most aligned contacts and opportunities and peers for them, whether it's podcast swaps or just learning from each other or contributing product to somebody else's goodie bag for a retreat or whatever that may look like. That's kind of one of my favorite parts. And I feel like one of my gifts is just seeing, and I guess purpose, for lack of better terms, is just like I love connecting people. And I feel like that is one of my gifts, to help amplify the gems of messages of our incredible community through that connection and the relationships and the community at its core. That was a long-winded answer, but
I love it,
yeah.
Zoe. I love it because you're lighting up when you speak about it. Zoe, and we have to give a shout out to Kim Shapiro, who set us up, the two of us. She is a LA-based dietitian, nutritionist that I've done a couple of Insta lives with. She's amazing. I met her in through another woman, also in California. So tell us a little bit how does the membership system work? People sign up, and then how do you integrate them? How is the onboarding process, and what can they expect?
Yeah, great question. So our community is specifically for those female thought leaders, entrepreneurs, founders, healers, practitioners in the wellness space. So there's an application to join. Once you join, then I connect with you one-on-one, like I mentioned, to better get to know each member's journey, what lights them up and challenges, to just kind of curate our content of calls and such, as well as connecting them with aligned opportunities. Then there's opportunities to join our calls, in-person meetups that are US based currently, and then our summit as well.
Yeah. So what would you say are your main learnings? You've been in that wellness industry for a very long time. What are your main takeaways? What tips would you have for other wellness entrepreneurs?
I think it just goes back to trusting your intuition and following the breadcrumbs of I've had the experience of getting caught up in how can I architect the entire staircase when it's like all I can do is really take that one next step at a time, because the plan is never going to pan out how I architected. But even better, and life is not meant to be linear. And as an entrepreneur, it's about embracing the art and science, and like learning the art and science of embracing the pivots.
So, and what would you say is sort of what are the real strengths of your community? You're a connector, you're a community builder, a bridge builder. You see the bigger picture and hold the big vision. What are the strengths of We Shine Well?
That's a great question. I think the strengths of We Shine Well are bringing people together with aligned opportunities, and whether that is learning from each other in such aligned ways of where they seek, whether it's like a raise in their business, and gaining investors, or it's just how do I open a brick and mortar Pilates studio or something like that. So it's a well-vetted resource through experts and our community to help support that authentic and sustainable growth for both our community and their broader communities to ultimately amplify their gems of a message to help the world live well.
Amazing. And so, what kind of a leader are you, Zoe? How do you show up as a leader of your
Mm,
organization, of your life?
yeah, I feel like I show up as a leader in terms of being a guide. So helping guide people home to themselves and connecting to each other.
Mm. Zoe, and I'm wondering, as I'm talking to you about a wellness community, I think we should talk about how your sacred habits that keep you aligned with who you are, with who you want to be, with how you want to show up in the world, that will help others on their journey. I mean, I think we read so much about wellness all the time now. And for the first time, we talk about women's health, right? Which is a new thing. It's a very underfunded and under researched area. And all of a sudden, we are talking about it. What would your sort of main, points of guidance be that you feel work really well for you and work for others too?
It's a great question. I think it's all about how you start your day. So I work from home, so it's big for me that I go to a workout class or I'm around other people to have that energy of other people in the morning to start the day. But first, before that is just intention setting. So each morning I ask myself 5 questions, like you could journal this or on a walk, is one, what is one thing I'm uniquely grateful for? Two is how do I want to feel today? Three is what is my area of focus in work or life? Four is what is one way I'm going to invest in myself, and five is what is one way I'm going to invest in others. So then at the end of the day, I can kind of reflect on that and live my day with intentionality, and kind of focus, while being open to whatever else may come my way as well. So I feel like that's big, and walking is my sanity. I feel like being on screens all of the time in the middle of the day, it's so powerful to just step away, screenless, have a clear mind, because I feel like that's when we create space to have that clarity and creativity come in. So that's when I have biggest ahas, and making time to be in community yourself, whether that's virtually or in person. I love going on walks with friends after work.
Amazing, Zoe. I love the 5 intention setting rules for the beginning of the day. Amazing that you shared that. And what challenges do you have, Zoe, and how do you reframe them? What are your sort of challenges that you come up against?
Mm-hmm. Uh, Challenges currently are around like money mindset, and pricing can always be a challenge because I
Mm,
love what I do and I wish that it could always just be free for everyone. But I do also believe there has to be energetic exchange of money to
definitely.
mutually have that investment, to invest in your own growth as well.
Yeah, yeah. What does success look like for you? What does it mean to you?
hmm Success looks like a life of freedom to me. Freedom of time, money, being surrounded by just loved ones and friends, and knowing I'm making a impact beyond myself.
And Zoe, what would you say are you most proud of to date?
Mm. Well, recently I left my corporate job 3 months ago. So I would say right now, that is one thing I'm most proud of, was fully betting on myself to grow We Shine Well. And also that being an extension of fully betting on myself in life and showing up in the fullest essence of who I am, as well as I also do some consulting. So, yeah.
Zoe, and what are the plans and goals for the rest of this year and into next year?
Yes, so I this is actually an interesting time because I feel like I'm refreshing all of We Shine Well, is thinking about um how can we have higher engagement of tiers where there's more integrated support that I provide on our members' businesses, as well as launching a podcast and what that looks like to amplify those gems of messages of our community as well.
Amazing, Zoe. So, what takeaways would you like our listeners to have from your story?
Mm. That belonging starts first within yourself to be able to attract that community and those opportunities. So the inner work is incredibly important to show up in the world as that fullest version of you, to be in that community where those opportunities, those ahas lie, to support your own unique growth.
Zoe, and I hear so many people talk about this inner work, and I think it leaves a lot of people flummoxed. They sort of think, what do they mean with this inner work? So tell us a bit
Mm-hmm.
about your process.
Yeah. I work with a life and business coach that has absolutely changed my life personally, in just helping me not only in sessions but outside of it. It's like, how can you use journaling and prayer and meditation, and for more than anything, be like, where is my self-saboteur? What
Mm.
is the truth? And getting comfortable with being uncomfortable with ourselves, because we live in a world where it can be so easy to numb out with phone or food or shopping or whatever it may be. So it's creating that inner stillness to create that clarity, to then know what those breadcrumbs are, to then follow those to what your ultimate purpose in life journey is uniquely for you.
Zoe, and I remember when before we started recording, we were talking about different things, and you said, what are your main takeaways? And I said, every woman seems to say, trust your gut. And I think that most
Mm-hmm.
people have to train this like a muscle, right? So we need to understand what is ego, what is a real gut feeling, and so that we can then understand those breadcrumbs that you're talking about along the way to
Mm-hmm.
get to where we are, both to
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and to others. And Zoe,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful that you told your story for She Can. There is so much insight and so many great tips. And thank you so much for taking this time to be with me today to support others.
Thank you for having me. It's been great connecting.